inevitable has happened. Davante Adams, which seemingly it felt like as soon as the Raiders moved on from Derek Carr, he was going to reunite with Aaron Rodgers at some point. And I guess all it took was the firing of Robert Saleh, the loss to the Buffalo Bills on Monday night, falling to 2-4, that had the Jets saying, all right, we'll give Aaron Rodgers what he wants. And Davante Adams has left the Vegas Raiders. Going back is a conditional third-round pick to reunite Davante and Aaron Rodgers. And that is going to spark what is going to be a new episode of the Madden 25 Realistic Rebuilds with the New York Jets. And this is honestly probably going to be our most interesting rebuild yet. Here's why. So to get the Davante Adams trade over the line, we got to free up some salary cap space. And we're going to deal with another player on the Jets that has salary cap implications and contract disputes. Hassan Reddick fired his management, brought in super agent Drew Rosenhaus. The Jets have allowed him to seek a trade. And I would love a trade to happen because if they trade him, the Philadelphia Eagles pick right now, Philly got a third that could turn to a second from the Jets, automatically is locked in as a second-round pick if they trade him to a team in the NFC. And I think the most desperate team that would be willing to deal with the headache of Hassan Reddick's new contract would be the Detroit Lions, who are down Aiden Hutchinson after a severe leg injury, which sucks universally. You know, Aiden Hutchinson was honestly looking like Defensive Player of the Year. So they're going to be desperate, obviously knowing the window. Now, the compensation that you get back in return for Hassan Reddick, given the salary cap situation, I feel like this is fair, a fourth and a fifth, somewhere in that range, because there's really zero leverage for the Jets. But by making this trade, it gives us enough salary cap to get Davante Adams. You guys, clearly under new head coach Aaron Rodgers, the New York Jets roster is a very weird roster when you are looking at the terms of a rebuild. Because on the offense in particular, it is such a weird balance of win now and also having key pieces that if it doesn't work, I think we're going to be fine to roll this rebuild into another rebuild, if you know what I'm saying. Because we do got Aaron Rodgers, got his buddy Davante Adams, we got the veterans, the one-year rentals, Tyron Smith, you got Mike Williams, you got Alan Lazard, right? And like those guys there, short window. I don't know how long we're going to have with them here. Davante Adams, I imagine he has a little bit longer left than Aaron Rodgers, but if Aaron Rodgers retires, I could definitely see Davante Adams just forcing his way to go to New Orleans or wherever Derek Carr ends up as a starting quarterback. So there is very much a short window here for the veterans, which is always interesting when you do a rebuild, because then it's like, all right, well, we're going to be good. It's not really going to be a rebuild off the get-go. We're going to be expected to win. But if we don't win, and I've played enough Madden 25 to know that I don't see the Jets making a lot of deep playoff runs in this sim. It's usually the Ravens, the Chiefs. Sometimes you'll get, Bengals every now and again. You don't see the Jets there all the time. So maybe throwing Davante Adams on the team, that's going to be the special little sauce, the special little magic and seasoning that's going to make this team a perennial playoff contender for however long we end up having Aaron Rodgers here. I'm going to guess probably just 1 year. This might be our only shot. If Aaron Rodgers retires, and, we don't know the future holds for Davante Adams, this is not only just an old roster, because if we have to move on from the Aaron Rodgers era and kind of start another rebuild, you're going to have Breece Hall, who's 23 years old, 87 superstar. You got Braylon Allen, who I'm still very livid the Philadelphia Eagles didn't draft to have as a 1-2 punch with Saquon Barkley. You got Garrett Wilson, who's on the right side. What is he, 23? One of the best young wide receivers in football. Malachi Corley's a stud. You got Fashanu, 78, rookie at tackle. Veritekers, 85 on the right side of 25. Tittman at 7-7 with a dev trade is on the right side of 25. There's a lot of key building block long-term pieces on this offense meshed in well with the win now of these veterans. You look at the defensive side of the ball. Now that we get a little bit more clarity on the pass rush, trading away Hassan Reddick, Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson, and you throw in Quinnen Williams, those are all guys that have their best football ahead of them, which is scary to think, especially in Quinnen Williams' case. And Will McDonald, in real life, I think he's kind of surprised with the last couple of roster updates. His rating's not higher. Isn't he top 5 in sacks right now in the league? Linebacking core, a little bit of a question. Safety room, a little bit of a question mark. Areas we're going to want to improve. Quincy Williams is solid, but he's pretty much at his ceiling. He won't get a whole lot better. You look at the secondary, though, you got Sauce Gardner, who is bona fide superstar X Factor, every sense of the word, one of the best corners in the NFL. DJ Reed's kind of closer to the end of his prime than he is in it. Michael Carter, however, was he 25? 25 at 80. I know he's going to be looking for a new contract, but we can get him together. Him and Sauce can be here long term. But ultimately, the Jets is such a unique rebuild because of that mix of win now, got pieces for later if it doesn't work. So it's almost like you get two swings at it. We're going to have an opportunity now to get that check mark, get out of here with 5-year rebuild, and get a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. If we don't get it, Aaron Rodgers retires, we still have more than enough young guys that I think we could find a quarterback in free agency or draft a quarterback, build around that guy because we still have long-term developmental pieces that have yet to play their best football. And when they reach their peak, they're going to be regarded as some of the best players at their respective positions. So I think we're in a very interesting spot. Obviously, with the buzz around Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers reuniting, I would love to maybe get 2 years of Aaron Rodgers, have him play till he's 41, and or, even though we're starting live today and the Jets are 2-4, if we can go on a run, Cinderella run, story tale, big final explosions, going to Disney World type ending for Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams here in year one, I'd also be fine with that. But I'm also a sicko and I embrace doom and gloom. Maybe we don't even make the playoffs this year. Aaron Rodgers retires and we got to do a brand new rebuild. That is all the mystery that we're going to find out as we get in year one here of our Madden 25 New York Jets realistic rebuild. Chill is in the air. Leaves fall into the ground in football every weekend. That's what fall is all about. Make each weekend even more exciting by getting the action with DraftKings. Today I am partnering with DraftKings, the #1 place to bet on touchdowns. And right now, all new customers who bet $5 will instantly get $200 in bonus bets by using promo code C4. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. DraftKings Sportsbook is an official partner of the NFL. New customers can bet just $5 on anything and receive $200 in bonus bets instantly. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. DraftKings is the one-stop shop for all things daily fantasy, where you can join in on the fun and have a shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use my promo code C4. Bet just $5 on any wager and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code C4 only at DraftKings Sportsbook. We might be onto something. We did lose our first game. I think it was against the Steelers ugly. But then we put up 50 on the Patriots, put up 40 on the Texans. Maybe there's something to reuniting Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams. Looking at our salary cap, we have $67 million of available salary cap that we need to be very, very smart with. And I think ultimately we will likely pick up all 3 of those 5th-year options. That's not, that's interesting. 25.78 for Tony Adams. He's one dev trait from that kind of looking like a real steal of a contract. Let's see, 3 years, 15. We'll keep him and gamble that we can develop him. But, Conklin, I feel like replaceable. Tyron Smith, we already have his successor in place in Fashanu. Mike Williams, very much surplus. DJ Reed is very good. I like the 3-year deal, too. Keep him until he's 30, so we don't have to really worry about any aggression. So we'll get him locked in on a 3. We still have $50 million of salary cap. So we're honestly in a pretty good spot. Because, also when Aaron Rodgers decides to retire, if it's this offseason or the next, that's going to be another bunch of salary cap that is on our books for us to improve the squad. And we also got some good news on this roster. A defensive back breakout, which would be cool, honestly, if this is like Michael Carter, because younger player in this secondary. And I think if we can keep all 3 of them. So let's go with an easy goal here and see if we can get them off that normal dev trait. Our win streak continues as we go to 7-5, but did we get a star dev trait on Michael Carter II? Well, he's proven we can be a little more aggressive with him. He's showing the potential. I think he can hone in on and refine. We go with the easy goal, and he is now a star dev corner. The good and bad news. The bad news is we did lose our final 2 games of the regular season against the Bills and Dolphins. The good news is that we did enough work after we made the Davante Adams trade to go 10-7 on the season with a top 10 offense, top 5 passing offense, #1 rushing defense, almost a top 10 defense overall. The 7 seed, we runner-up in the AFC East, but that's fine given our slow start. And hopefully all things, again, I just really want to get another year of Aaron Rodgers. But if not, we do have our own first-round picks. Could make a trade. And look at Aaron Rodgers. Very good. Top 5 in passing yards. 36 touchdowns. 18 picks is way too many. That needs to be addressed, but the output was very good. That was positive. 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns for Breece Hall, 2 and 6 for Braylon Allen. We got 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, Davante Adams, 1,000 yards, 9 touchdowns for Garrett Wilson, 8 and 8 for Mike Williams, 6 and 6 for Conklin, 3 and 4 for Big Tuna, Allen Lazard, and I think very highly of Malachi Corley, so I do think going to be a big role for him going forward with this team. C.J. Mosley and Quincy Williams both finished over 100 tackles. We got 7 sacks from Q. Outside of that, though, very disappointing numbers for Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald. Sack numbers, not great. Interception numbers, outstanding. 8 picks for Sauce Gardner, 5 for DJ Reed, 4 for Chuck Clark, 3 for Mosley, 2 from Q, and 2 from our new star dev corner, Michael Carter II. Our only award winner goes to Sauce Gardner for winning DB of the Year with his 8 picks. Yep, should have been a lock and was a lock. Now it's time to put up or shut up. First round of the playoffs. Aaron Rodgers getting the perfect situation around him with the Jets. We got to take on the 12-5 Cincinnati Bengals, who also had a very slow start to the 2024 season. How are we going to be able to get the first win of the Rodgers-Jets era and go on a run? Well, it might not be a long run as we have to go to Arrowhead against the Chiefs, but we do at least get that first victory in a shootout, 34-31. Overtime win for the Jets, having to kick a field goal in OT. Aaron Rodgers, interceptions, which is very not Aaron Rodgers to even talk about, was an issue in the regular season. Played clean football here in the first playoff game. Ran the ball well. Garrett Wilson steps up. I mean, everyone's got to kind of wonder how that dynamic's going to work because Garrett Wilson's very much a wide receiver one. Davante Adams, Aaron Rodgers' BFF. Could be a little awkward. Quentin Williams with the sack. Chuck Clark with the interception. And now it's all about Cinderella run here. Jets were dead and gone, win a lot of games, make the playoffs, get a win. Now you have the cheat code. Now you have to find a way to stop Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, the NFL's golden franchise with Taylor Swift. We just didn't have enough juice. Damn it. It's very difficult to beat that. Look at that. That wasn't even close. 31-14. I mean, you know what? For our defense, we win on our defense. Even with Aaron Rodgers, even with Davante Adams. Looking at the stats, our defense was very good. Not good today. And you got to be good to show up against, Patrick Mahomes on the road. And happy Jermaine Johnson got a sack after very poor sack numbers between him and Will McDonald. We did get the win, but too little, too late. Now the next big hurdle in this entire video. Will Aaron Rodgers run it back for one more year? Or is this it? And he's just going to remain just as the head coach of the Jets going forward. We do have 2 retirements and a quarterback, but it's Tyrod Taylor and Tyron Smith retiring, so we get one more year at least out of Aaron Rodgers. I'm actually surprised with all those interceptions that Aaron Rodgers did not lose a depth chart. We did lose the X factor on Davante Adams. That is likely due to his just age regression at this point, I'm going to imagine, because he did go over 1,000 yards, but he's 32. So taking a look at the, that stings. But we did get the depth trade off Fashanu, hidden dev, superstar tackle to succeed Tyron Smith at the left tackle spot. We still got Morgan Moses on the roster. So, I mean, honestly, going into this offseason, not going to need a whole lot of pieces. Still wouldn't rule out quarterback. Yeah, I guess we got Jordan Travis, who in college was in the Heisman bubble, but it's always more of like a schematic guy. I don't think he was ever really regarded much as an NFL prospect. Point being, never think that it's too early to look for an Aaron Rodgers successor. Defensively, as far as depth traits are concerned, nothing too great. Sherwood went up to a star dev. He's out of contract. Maybe we consider bringing him back and just seeing if we can continue to develop. Remember, I'm pretty sure he was like a converted safety. Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot of pieces that we need. A D tackle, probably. Maybe a safety, because Chuck Clark's going to walk. The Super Bowl goes to the San Francisco 49ers, and I'm happy it's anybody but the Chiefs or Cowboys. We're going to throw some money around here because we want to pick up the 5th-year option for Sauce Gardner. We want to pick up the 5th-year option for Garrett Wilson. Not you. Jermaine Johnson, 5th-year option at 14.5. I honestly think that might just be his last year. Pick him up for one more year. He's an older rookie. Remember, he was on Last Chance U. That's how old he was. He must have been, 24? 23, turning 24 when he was drafted out of Florida State. And especially if that production doesn't pick up any, because very disappointing, man. Him and Will McDonald easily the 2 biggest disappointments from this first little year. So we'll just pick up the 5th year option and wait and see. But definitely Garrett Wilson and Sauce Gardner, they're going to be locked down big-time contracts just at the end of those 5th year options. So for our roster, needs safety. I just think, honestly, with the state of our roster, with the contracts that we have upcoming, I don't really want to spend any money. I want to just be able to replenish and replace in the draft. But there's nothing here at safety that really would be warranting anything. I wanted to bring back Sherwood, especially going out dev trade, but then in a classic, he wants to get paid like an edge rusher. So, you know, I mean, those aren't brutal numbers. At least throw an offer out there. Like, hey, do you want to come back? You want to run it back? We'll throw that to Sherwood. Everything else, we'll go to the draft. And let's see if we can get him. I'm not going to overpay. I could see maybe, hey, there we go. You know what? We'll run it back. Let's go. Fix this number. I know people always lose their minds if you don't fix the number of the star players. It's fixed, okay? 17 in green, Davante Adams. All right, so we're on the clock here. First round, pick 26. A lot of areas we could go to improve this squad. I did use my focus scouting on tight ends. We have quarterbacks. That was kind of already locked in, like when we took over the rebuild. They're all there, honestly, if we wanted to get a successor in place. But I also, we got Aaron Rodgers. Could potentially wait and see. Tyler Warren, who's coming off a nuclear game for Penn State last weekend, where he, literally nuclear. He had, 17 catches, 397 yards, 17 touchdowns against USC. We need a new tight end. So we got 2 that are still available there. I feel pretty good about where we're at on the offensive line. You can always use a tackle. We have Josh Connerly here from Oregon. Still a first-round projected tackle, just because Morgan Moses is getting up there in age a little bit. I like the defense, even though we could use a D tackle. We're still led by Quinnen Williams. So I don't necessarily think we have to invest early at tackle. Kenneth Grant's there, nose tackle from Michigan. Safety's a big one. I definitely think we could very much be in the market for a safety. We got Kevin Winston Jr. at strong safety. Jonas Sanker is also legit. Winston is a baller. A tackle, B-man, 6'2", 205. I think that's where we're going to go. We'll go Winston. Ideally, we go Winston and maybe even try to trade up for one of those 2 tight ends, Mason Taylor or Tyler Warren. Maybe we double up on Penn State. But we got Winston, 25 in true value. He's going to be a day 1 starter for us at strong safety. And we get the dev trait. 6'2", 90 acceleration, 91 speed, B-man coverage, big-time hitter. That's what we need. Tone setter back there. All right, literally just skip through every single pick individually because, all right, if one of those tight ends go, we'll grab the other one. They're both should be still here unless I miss one going late in the first round. They are both still there. So make the right call here. We have Mason Taylor, son or nephew, related to the great Jason Taylor, or we have Tyler Warren from Penn State. I think we just use this as if they were randomly generated because I think they're both probably in the same bubble. Mason Taylor, 6'5". We have A, catching traffic, B, catching, B, run block, C, deep running. Combine, not the best, not the worst. Nothing really standout-ish. Or we can look at Tyler Warren. Better key ratings. Yep, that's our guy. We're going all Penn State. All Penn State, 56 in true value. Get him at 58. No dev trait. I'm going to have to look back to it. Mason. I don't like exposing what other picks are because I won't. We won't. The number one thing I do with these classes, because I don't know these ratings, I don't want to go look at a recap and then just remember other guys' ratings and stuff like that. I think it ruins future drafts. Hopefully Mason Taylor's also a normal dev. I'll be honest. I wasn't thinking about getting quarterback. Drew Aller's still here. Why don't we just go with the all in on Penn State? There's a developmental quarterback. Good enough that it could work out. Also, maybe not good enough. Doesn't have to necessarily make the thumbnail. Be the selling point of a rebuild. 126 true value 90. We get the dev trait. Is there a dev trait? There is, on top of having 95 throw power. And you know what? At worst, this could just be a future nugget of information that maybe next time we do a rebuild that a team needs a quarterback. We know Drew Aller here. He falls to the 3rd round. He falls almost only to the 4th round. And you got a very toolsy quarterback. All right, so looking at our draft recap, we got Squirrel White, 70 normal with 98 speed. Just couldn't not bring that type of athlete in here. We have Kyle Kennard out of South Carolina. Shocked that he was still there. This is version 2 of the 2025 draft class. I imagine when version 3 gets made, he is going to be going a lot earlier. We got Howard Cross, J.J. Weaver. We got Jack Nelson. Just depth picks. Drew Aller, 69 overall, but has that hidden dev trait and can learn under Aaron Rodgers. Tyler Warren does not have a dev trait, But 73 is not a brutal starting point. I think I'll take that in the second round. But Kevin Winston Jr. getting a 75 hidden dev to be a day one starter for us in a very good win now type secondary is a great pick for the ass end of the first round. All right, so here's a look at the Jets going into year two. Aaron Rodgers was 88. I feel like he finished last year. Regressed down to an 85, which is expected at his age. Honestly, I'm shocked we didn't get him down to a normal dev. I've seen some real bad regression. But we do have a potential successor in place in Drew Aller out of Penn State after he went all Penn State in last year's draft. Breece Hall, Adams. We got Wilson. I'm going to move Malachi Corley up the depth chart there. We got more Penn State in Warren, Penn State in Fashanu. Kind of going for a theme there, but definitely, not in love with our right tackle situation. Just didn't have enough resources, didn't get a great role in free agency that kind of fix all of our issues, and the retirement from Morgan Moses was certainly annoying and unexpected. On the defensive side of the ball, I think we're still going to be pretty good. Weren't really able to find a legitimate D-tackle too, but I think with Quentin Williams, Johnson, and Will McDonald, those guys should be good enough. Bringing back Sherwood in free agency has us feeling pretty good about our linebacking core. Not crazy regression either out of C.J. Mosley. Winston and Adams at safety. Would love to see Adams get a dev trait. Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, and Michael Carter II make up probably one of the best corner rooms in the NFL. And overall, 10-7 last year. I think now with a full year, even though there's been a little bit of regression, I think that is our floor, and I really want to see this team push and go get an AFC East title. So at the midway point of year number 2, we're 4-3. I'm very happy to renounce and report that our offense is very good. Defense, however, has fell off a cliff, which is kind of what we saw in that last game in the playoffs against the Kansas City Chiefs. Look at that contract. We have $75 million. And this is it's going to be interesting. I think AVT's the first one you got to lock in, right? There's a guy ceilings into the 90s at guard. Don't want to let him walk. Breece Hall is a very interesting one because we have Braylon Allen, who I feel like if we make Braylon Allen the starter, we'll be fine. But Breece Hall's also 24 years old, a superstar, like ceiling's 99. His ceiling's a 99 X factor. Do we let that walk? We got Aaron Rodgers. I feel like we give him honestly, we can't even do any other contracts until we see if he retires. If he retires, we'll get that money back. And if we get that money back, maybe we give it to CJ Mosley on a 1 year. Again, maybe we look at Breece Hall. But there's a side of me saying that we have a lot of young players that need to get paid. And I think we will be just as good with Braylon Allen. And that's not just me being a Braylon Allen homer. I think we might be as fine going with him at running back and saving that big money, because you never want to pay a running back big money, and being able to save that for when it comes time to re-sign Sauce Gardner, or pay that when it comes to sign our edge rushers or whatever. So we'll wait and see, and it all hinges on what Aaron Rodgers does, because if he comes back, good. If he doesn't come back, we'll be able to throw some more money around. At the end of year 2, we are pretty much at the same spot. 10-7, we make the playoffs, 7 seed, firmly not the best team in the AFC East. Offensively, our ranks definitely slowed down a little bit down the stretch, but I still think we have more than enough talent in this building to go on a run. Aaron Rodgers, 41 touchdowns, 10 picks at 41 years old, year 20. God damn. Please don't, honestly, don't retire. There is a side of me saying that money that we got, we'd be able to probably re-sign a couple guys. Might be better for the overall health of the roster. We have Drew Aller in place. Playing like this, keep going. Breece Hall, 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. Again, is that worth premier running back money? You tell me. Receiving, we got 13-16 for Davante Adams, 8-5 for Corley, 7-12 from Garrett Wilson. So disappointing on the receptions and yards. Pretty happy with those touchdowns. 6-4 for the rookie Tyler Warren. Those are really solid numbers for a rookie tight end. That is very low on the totem pole of who's getting targets in this offense. Quincy Williams, over 100 tackles. We got 17.5 sacks from Jermaine Johnson, 8.5 from Quentin Williams, 7 from Will McDonald. These are the numbers I wanted to see last year. 5 picks Mosley, 4 for Sauce, 3 for Quincy, 2 for the rookie Kevin Winston. Our first-round pick also had 84 tackles and 4 TFLs. Real happy with those defensive numbers. Old Man Rodgers makes the short list for MVP, but that's pretty low for the year he had. Surprised with that. But Davante Adams wins wide receiver of the year. Awesome. Jermaine Johnson very close to winning D lineman of the year, but I fully expect he's a star dev off of that year for him to be a superstar next season. So the first round of the playoffs, we get a bitter divisional rivalry. Buffalo 13-4. Josh Allen's playing outstanding football. Greg Rousseau is D-lineman of the year. Every game here could very well be Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to assume it's going to be Aaron Rodgers' last game. And at least gets us an opportunity to go lose to the Jets again. Player of the week performance from Sauce Gardner, 10 tackles and a pick in our win over the Buffalo Bills. So much for really earning the number 2 seed and winning the division. You get slipped up in overtime, another overtime with 31 with 3 touchdowns, 1 pick for Aaron Rodgers. Breece Hall was solid. Davante Adams playing like wide receiver of the year, almost 100 yards for Garrett Wilson. The dream. We got 2 sacks from Jermaine Johnson, 1 from Q, pick for Sauce. Every big-time player stepping up for the New York Jets. I'll tell you right now, if you want a tip and trick, if you are going to be doing this, I know there's going to be a bunch of Jet fans, put Davante Adams in the slot. That is kind of the magic sauce. You might think Garrett Wilson, put him there. No, put Davante Adams there. Now it is time, as the 7th seed, yet again to try and go slay the boogeyman of the Kansas City Chiefs, as they hope to send Aaron Rodgers into retirement. Obviously, we got to upgrade our players here to make sure we have the best strength, best chance of shocking the world here. As AVT gets an upgrade up to an 88 overall. He's got to be probably a top 5 guard at his position by right now. Kansas City is, there you go. Patrick Mahomes was 50 passing touch. You know what? I'm going to say it. I've been very much on the side of clearly we know the cheesy teams in Madden Sim, and Kansas City deserves to be cheesy. But, let's be honest. Patrick Mahomes is not really putting up video game numbers anymore. Still the best quarterback in football. Still the best player for football. But, when was the last time Patrick Mahomes is, flirting with 50 touchdowns? You know? Can we nerf him just a teeny bit? I'm just trying to psych him out. Come on! Defense, please. Oh, we beat him! We got Harbaugh the Chargers. We got a player of the week performance. Aaron Rodgers going down, swinging almost 400 yards. 3 touchdowns. Upsetting the 1 seed Chiefs. How did that happen? See this, man. The Jets, the road dog wasn't even close. 42-24 revenge. After last year's playoff loss, Aaron Rodgers turns the clock back there a little bit. Breece Hall got after Braylon Allen, who could be our future RB1. Getting involved. Davante is a cheat code right now, man. Playing like the best. And look, not only him, Jermaine Johnson and Q just getting after Jermaine Johnson. Just deciding out of the blue to become a prolific pass rusher. Still got Dallas involved. I'd love to, if we win, it'd be annoying to try to play Dallas, trying to beat the 2 super teams in Madden, but can't look too far ahead. We got Justin Herbert, 10-7 Chargers. They have a top 10 passing offense. Their defense is good. They have a better defense than we do. So again, we will give them our utmost respect, auto upgrade our players. With how he's playing, I'd love to see Davante or Jermaine Johnson get an upgrade here, but it's Breece Hall bringing him up to a 92 overall. Could be his final hurrah. Might be not just Aaron Rodgers, Breece Hall, as we kind of sit and ponder on a potential contract extension. At least the Cowboys lose. Did we win or lose? Let's go. Defense didn't even give up a touchdown. 20-3. Ugly win. Old school win. We forced 2 interceptions on Justin Herbert. Aaron Rodgers, manages the game. Not a great stat line. We couldn't really run the football. Davante Adams is just I'm just still, even if I'm not putting up big numbers, I'm going to put up numbers. Quincy Williams, 2 sacks. Sack for Jermaine Johnson. Sherwood got after it. A couple of half sacks there. 2 picks, 1 from Sauce, 1 from Star Dev, Michael Carter. And in year 2, which could be the last season, should be the last season of Aaron Rodgers, we get to the Super Bowl against his boyhood team, the team that passed over him to go with Alex Smith all those years ago. Revenge is in the air. Clearly, we're going to hop in. Clearly, we're going to try to get this one over the line, get that check mark for our Jets. Realistic rebuild here in Madden 25. All right, so here we go. Super Bowl against the Niners. You know how we usually do this. Later on in our rebuilds, I give myself 3 chances through Pay the Moments that we can hop in, especially if things are getting a little one-sided, to give our team maybe a little kick in the butt if they're struggling. But I think this is too good to pass up. I'm going to cash in that opportunity to come in 3 times. Just because this is likely, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't retire, I can't even imagine what the regression is going to look like on a 40-plus quarterback. So let's see. And it starts with a turnover. Niners score, we score, and then miss the extra point, which is absolutely brutal. But 2 straight touchdowns for the Jets. Our defense kind of heating up, but look at that, man. Can our defense get a stop? They are struggling immensely. But look at that, man. They have not needed my help offensively to get them points. And we'll come in right now, because they say we're cashing it in 3 times. Down 1. We'll go levels, Y, corner. And I want to look for Davante in the slot. I mean, we got our 2 best guys there to the right, or to the left. Boom. Hey, shrug him off. Davante Adams is in. Would love to go for 2. We did go for 2 and missed it. And man, oh man, this defense, absolutely pathetic effort. Touchdown, 2-point conversion, to tie it at 41, and they actually get us the punt. How are they so bad? 4th and goal. So what Robert Saleh sacrificed his career for. 4th and goal. Oh my God. Okay, come on. Yes! Bring him down! Quincy Williams, I think that's Jermaine Johnson, split the sack. And it has somehow happened. 48-41, year 2 of the Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams, Jets reuniting. And we get a Super Bowl. Holy. It's a realistic rebuild. All realistic rebuilds are at minimum 5 years, maximum 10. We got the Super Bowl here, year 2. And we get to have, honestly, to try to chase a second Super Bowl. I mean, we got Drew Aller under center, assuming that Aaron Rodgers does retire this year. So we do get to reenact a little mini rebuild within a 5-year period, which is awesome because I'm obviously, the news dropped about this Jets trade a little bit later for me to start and record a full rebuild and get it out that day. So we can definitely pick up the pace just a little bit here to close this one out so you guys can get it here on Tuesday. But I didn't. 7 touchdowns? I scored 1 of those. So that was 6 touchdowns in the sim. I am Jets offense, Jets defense. Wasn't like I went ahead, I'll show, to put the Kansas City Chiefs or something stupid as our new playbook. It works. Davante Adams takes the Jets. Malachi Corley, who just decided to go nuclear. 75 yards, 2 tutties there. Lazard gets it. I mean, Aaron Rodgers just finding his boys on the defense, and they split the sack. It was Quincy Williams and Quinton Williams, the brothers! Even better storyline. 4th down, goal line sack goes to the Williams brothers. It's awesome. Chef's kiss. He didn't retire? I mean, there still is other stages of free agency that he could potentially retire, but he goes from, 86? Oh, my God. 26 regress. So he goes from 86 base rating down to a 78. So 8-point regression, loses his superstar dev, but he's trying to pull a Tom Brady. Respect to him. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves, and maybe he's now on that extra strength ayahuasca that makes him feel like he can play till he's 45. But now that Aaron Rodgers did retire, we are in that awkward stage of, that's still a pretty significant salary cap burden. We will pick up the 5th-year option on Will McDonald. I think with our given salary cap, it's definitely going to be worth bringing back C.J. Mosley. He's regressed, but he's still an 81 X factor. There's a lot of value of having him still, wear the blue dot on the defensive side of the ball. $34 million remaining. That's just edge rusher money. No thanks. And I think we're going to, it might sting now, but I think we're going to appreciate the decision not retaining Breece Hall come year 4 and 5 of this rebuild. I'll check free agency. There's an affordable option. We need a left guard. All right, nothing. We need a right tackle. Okay, nothing. We need a D tackle. All right, nothing. And we need an outside linebacker. That's an outside linebacker, not a pass rusher. And, you could get a middle linebacker like Ivan Pace. But I almost feel like I can draft one. I think that's what we'll do. All draft. Okay, let's talk this one out. 32nd pick of the draft, looking at running back, and we have a lot of positions that we need to try and fill. Now, I got great value at guard. I'm going to say Tyner, so I don't get in trouble with how that last name could potentially be pronounced, but there's going to be value there. He should be there at worst in the second round, so we can kind of wait and see, because we do need a day one starter at that guard spot. Not really a great role for like late first round, second round offensive tackles, because we need a right tackle. We do have Riley Garner, who does have a pass block. I'm going to guess without even looking at his bench press is terrible, like 20 or 30, yep. But, I mean, that still could be an option, because a pass block is definitely desirable for our given range. We need a D tackle. I didn't really scout the D tackles too much. Nothing looked and really jumped off the board. I scouted 2 linebackers. One was a bust, so not every time I scout a guy, they end up pretty good. Same with Trevor Johnson, not really finding much value there. They both just had A-zone coverage. Honestly, I think we just help with the O-line here a little bit. Let me just make sure Small doesn't have anything crazy. He is B. Double B ain't bad, and his bench press is very good. This is going to be an interesting one. I'm gonna go with him just because he's a better athlete, and I think I will double check. I'll look at both of them. You always go combine over letter grade. Push come to shove. Even though I hate passing on a guy that has A in pass or run blocking, double B in a better combine, still feel kind of optimistic. Oh no, hey, hidden dev. That's all I want. I don't really care about the true value. All right, here we are. I think we finished out the offensive line. Tyner got him scouted as a first, second rounder. 39 in true value, getting him at 64, and another hidden dev trait lineman going to the Jets. Reloading in the trenches. All right, so looking at our draft recap, I mean, a couple all right picks down the stretch. McBride, 70 overall, but it's really the first 2. Going in the trenches. Small, 72 with a hidden dev, 74 for Tyner. Get that one right. I do want to go look at the other tackle that we passed on, just because combine versus letter grades. Wow, Jerry Cooper, 83 corner. There's an 81 corner. Good year to need corners. But let's see, where is the left tackle that we passed on? Garner. He's 73. He also has a dev trait. So we would have been all right in either spot. Just out of curiosity. Okay, only star, so we're all right. All right, so as we try to defend our Super Bowl title, I'm still a little bit shocked that there's this close of a gap between Aller and Rodgers. We went out and improved the offensive line clearly. New starter at left guard and right tackle. Want to see Warren step up, get a dev trait. Want to see Braylon Allen, who's our new starter at running back. And how did Malachi Cooley not go up dev trait? We have got robbed on regressions and not got very much joy in terms of dev trait increases, especially on the offensive side. Looking at the defense, still fair to say incomplete. Might not look the most sexy. How did Jermaine Johnson, who had 17 and a half sacks last year, not go up a dev trait? That is absurd. So the midway point of defending our Super Bowl crown season, we are 6-1. Fresh off the bye, we beat the Texans by 42 points, get a Player of the Week performance. 6 touchdowns for Aaron Rodgers. That's his first one. It's not like he's going on pace for 60 or something like that. That is easily his biggest game of the year, but what better time than now? Looking at the contract situation, $175. Oh boy. And man, oh man, we got to throw a lot of this around. So we got Rodgers, and I feel like as long as he wants to continue to play, you got to give him the money there. Sauce Gardner, player-friendly, 5-year, $133. This could be tough negotiations, but we can't let him walk. Got Garrett Wilson back on a 5-year, $127 contract. Give Jermaine Johnson a 3-year, $60 million, coming off his breakout year last year. Rodgers is coming back for a 1 year. I'm going to give Davante Adams a very reasonable 1 year. We'll come back, but I want the time frame to line up with Aaron Rodgers. We'll give Joe Timmon a 3-year, $43 million to keep there. I mean, he's almost a 90 overall at center, one of the best young centers in the league. All right, we got Sauce on a 5-year, $138. Got that one over the line. And we got Davante on a 1-year, $25 million deal. All right, with a 41 year, we go 15-2 We have the number 1 offense in the league, top 5 passing offense, top 5 defense as we run the season back to defend our Super Bowl. What is going on? So, Aaron Rodgers, who regressed gigantically, 53 touchdowns. As you can see, Jets still. Only thing that changed was Davante Adams. All right, I saw something, and I'm gonna already the Aaron Rodgers touchdowns. Doesn't make any sense. We are still firmly, even though he is the head coach, Jets offense. Okay? So the Jets offense. Let's take a look. So Aaron Rodgers, it makes 0 sense. I've never seen Aaron Rodgers, out of the 30 freaking rebuilds I've done in this game, have a year like that. Okay? Now, we were worried we let Breece Hall walk. Is there going to be a gigantic drop-off? Not so much. Braylon out. Now, he is on the normal dev, so you want to see a dev trade increase. Take a look at this. I've had generational guys that I would dream to have this stat line. What? This is the most insane sim stat line. You can go replicate this. There's no magic. There's no under the hood-ings going on. Go play Madden. Put Davante Adams on the Jets. Put him in the slot. You might get this. 31. I've seen 20. I think the highest I've seen was 24. I feel like I want to say with Cooper Kupp on the Rams. I have never seen 31 touchdowns in a single season in a sim. I don't know ever in Madden. Maybe in pink slips or something crazy like that. And he's regressing. Aaron Rodgers is a 78 star. Davante Adams, he kept his X factor, but he's regressing. He's not even our wide receiver 1 anymore. That is broke the record. Most receiving touchdowns in a single season. Like, is this meta? Is the Jets playbook meta? Is this, like, if I'm struggling and I have a super, like, I draft a generational guy and it's not working out, I should now just be like, oh, you know what? I'm going to move him to the slot. I'm going to get the Jets offense, and he might get fucking 30 touchdowns. What? Like, can we get the game log here? Four touchdowns against the Patriots in a win. 2 against the Chiefs. 3 against the Bills. Single. 2 touchdowns against the Steelers. 3 against the Raiders. 4 against the Bears. 2 against the Texans. 2 there. 2 against the Dolphins. Finishes with 4 against the Patriots. So we get the first round. We better win the Super Bowl. We literally have the best wide receiver quarterback tandem I have ever seen in Madden 25. On my personal, for any of our, I don't think we've ever had a guy go over 20, and we lose the first game. Oh my God. What is this rebuild? Huh. I still 31 times. I'm not going to get over that for the rest. We got still 2 years left. That's the talking point. 31 sim receiving. That's at least 10 more than I've ever seen in this game. 10 more. So I sit right to the end of the season. We get the, hey, there you go. I love seeing Jeremiah try. Now, Aaron Rodgers got to retire, unless he glitches. We had this happen last year. Last year, Jason Kelce just would not retire on the Eagles. And I feel like, is that going to happen here? All right. Guess Aaron Rodgers is not retiring. Look at our, like, what is his regression? Oh my God. He's going to be a 74 normal. I will say, as much as and I think most people are very hypercritical about the Madden regression system, Davante should have significant regression. And he did. But at least we're not seeing, like, 3 dev trait regressions. I think you have 31 touchdowns. I don't care what you actually should face no regression. But at least they didn't do him dirty on the dev traits. 30. Like, he had 18 in 2020. I still can't believe that. I'm never, like, that's going to be incredibly difficult to beat for me to be, like, jaw-dropping sim stat number here in Madden 25. So just now, I guess Aaron Rodgers is just chasing out the record. We're at 72,000 yards, 605 touchdowns. And honestly, he plays like it again. We're going to be able to catch Tom Brady next. And I'm going to, at this point, because it's just simply ridiculous, we're going to keep Aaron Rodgers our quarterback until he retires. Probably pretty difficult to catch Brady on the yards, but we still got 2 more years left. And if Aaron Rodgers doesn't retire, I mean, I would not put it past whatever he is now. Like, he's 80. Not even 80. He's probably... What is Aaron Rodgers' rating? Not put it past 74 overall Aaron Rodgers to throw 50 touchdowns again. Because whatever we got going on is working. We go to free agency with decent money. 71 mil. We need a D tackle and really, we got to redo our linebacking room. So looking at the D tackles that are available, probably going to be better to draft one first couple rounds. Would like to get at least one linebacker. Sherwood's back up to a dev trade, huh? Got Fred Warner, Drew Sanders, Karake. I like Drew Sanders. I love the versatility. Let's offer him a 3-year. See where that puts us. Damn Bengals, huh? But if I come back to Drew Sanders with a player-friendly offer, does that improve us any? That puts us in the conversation. Toto. All right, I think we're going to go after just the one linebacker. And we're going to have a really good draft. And, of course, who wouldn't want to join the circus we got going on in New York? Idiot. So I want to look at the draft. We need linebackers. We need a D tackle. And I scouted a couple linebackers that could be all right. There we go. We got value on Eddie Harrison. That'd be a stud pick. I scouted another outside linebacker here in Coleman. That is also a stud pick. But the guy that I'm most excited about, look at this. I don't even care that he's not, a top 5. So, obviously, nose tackle cheese. 6'4", 375. You know what you usually get in those guys. You don't usually see a power move. That's our first round pick. Him and Quentin Williams, good luck. Lance Forbes out of South Carolina. You are a New York Jet. What do you look like? Well, not in love with that. In love with the stats. In love with the depth rate. Almost 400 pounds with 86 acceleration. Nice. And we're going to have our pick of the litter for the linebackers. Both still on the board. And I think we just trust the scouting that Tyquan Coleman is a little bit better. A zone, A tackle, A pursuit. Hey, shocking, guys. Combine could be a little bit better. But number 12 in true value, there's a day 1 starter. While we're here, other linebackers still on the board. We're at the asset of the second round. Let's go get the other linebacker. We need 2 linebackers. We are back on the clock. Pick 61 because I want to reap the rewards of our scouting, which tells us that Eddie Harrison's going to be a good pick. A zone, A tackle, B pursuit, B block shed, big time athlete, elite speed, 4.56. We need 2 new linebackers. Got to replace Quincy Williams and CJ Mosley, 47 in true value. This guy also looks like an absolute stud. Day 1 starter. Hey, look at our draft recap. Very happy with how the draft, the ratings that we're getting here. Harrison, 73 hitting dev, 76 on Tyquan Coleman, and 73. I thought it might be a little bit higher there on Forbes, but all 3 of these guys going to be day 1 starters for a team that is hungry to get back and win another Super Bowl here in year 4. All right, so not hot. 2-5. It was inevitable, right? But is it? Aaron. Well, we get back-to-back players of the week here in offense and defense. Is the rookie Harrison with 2 picks. Aaron Rodgers has 5 touchdowns, yet we're 2-5. Looking at our rankings, kind of middle of them all. Defense is pretty terrible at this point. Let's look at contracts. We got 1 more year of the rebuild left after this. 176 mil, so we might as well try to keep everyone we can. So we'll get Fashanu on a 3-year. We got Quentin Williams. Let's hit him with a player-friendly 3-year, $130 million deal. We got Michael Carter. I'd like him probably to go the whole rebuild just because our only dev trade increase from an in-season and playing well, so we'll get him locked in for 1 year. Still have $100 million left. Will McDonald will give him a player-friendly contract just because we have seemingly and can keep anybody that we want. We'll keep Braylon Allen just because we made the decision to go with him over Breece Hall. We got DJ Reed, who is interested coming back on a 1-year, $7.8 million deal. You got Davante Adams, Malachi Corley. Obviously, down here you got Aaron Rodgers. 1 year, $5 million. Sure, we're just not going to retire. We will keep making it happen. Davante Adams, we'll get him on a just lock it in, man. Honestly, we got 1 more year left. I like Malachi Corley. Shout out Western Kentucky. I want to keep him in the building. There you go. And maybe, just maybe, the cheat codes are over. 7-10, and our offensive rankings not great. As Anthony Richardson goes for 50 touchdowns, like this is, I don't think there was a title update. I mean, hell, even Aaron Rodgers, he's 73 overall, 42 touchdowns. Rush game was all right, 19, so it's a cheat code. Davante Adams in the slot, regardless of the age of quarterback. It's not 31. It's definitely not 31, but still 19. If we didn't have the 31 and he got 19, I'd still be like, that is insane. It's absolutely ridiculous. But we're still here for it. Defensively, Harrison, the rookies, outstanding years. Quinton Williams, 15 sacks, 4 for Forbes. The freaky nose tackle, who, all right, is also an X Factor. All right, cool. Why did we lose? Why did we suck this year then? I know it's sauce, man. This is Jets defense. Probably the best interception sim numbers we've seen so far in a Madden 25 rebuild. Our only award winner was Eddie Harrison, getting Defensive Rookie of the Year, Coleman at number 3. Aaron Rodgers up to 76,000 yards passing, 647 touchdowns. So he's 2 behind Brady. Now I kind of hope he doesn't retire. I hope he's glitched and just will play to the end of time. You know what? Davante's probably looking pretty good all time. 15,000 yards receiving, 168 touchdowns, which has him, you know, we might be able to catch Jerry Rice in touchdowns. Maybe not in this video, but maybe, I mean, let's try. Let's go for it, man. Give me another 30 bomb. Super Bowl goes to the Cowboys. Gross. How is he still here? Davante retires. Second all-time in receiving touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers is running it back. That means with the progression, Aaron Rodgers is 43 years old, 69 overall, and he is sure as shit going to be our starting quarterback for the 5th and final year of this rebuild. So now that it's the 5th and final year, I think we can be a little more lenient with our salary cap situation. We definitely need to go and get another wide receiver. I'm fine with Garrett Wilson potentially as wide receiver 1, if not wide receiver 2. I'm fine with Malachi Corley being wide receiver 3. We just got to go get another guy out there. But the offense is pretty good. Defensively, Forbes at generational X Factor. You love seeing that. Harrison went up dev trade after winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. Coleman solid. You know, could use another linebacker sprinkled in there. I feel great about the corners. Free safety. So we need a wide receiver, free safety, middle linebacker. That's doable in one offseason. Ricky Pearsall is the top wide receiver on the market. Florida Gator bias. I'll go get him. I'll be fine with him as our wide receiver too. Obviously, significant drop-off from Davante Adams, but we can put Garrett Wilson in the slot. You're kind of excited to see what that sim number looks like. No safeties, but Terry Arnold, who was a DB coming out of Alabama, could be safety, could be corner. If we get him, we will move him to safety. And we do get him, but we still, wow, we missed on the wideout, huh? I mean, not that much of a drop-off on Polk. Just need another body in here. There we go. We got Jalen Polk. Welcome. Steal you away from the Patriots. Actually, we still have DJ Reed. We're going to do the classic old corner moves to safety when they start slowing down here a little bit. I'll move DJ Reed to free safety. That means we can go Sauce and Terry and Arnold as our 2 outside corners, and Reed is 82 safety. That's pretty good. And just to cover our ground, because we have the number 9 pick, because last year was terrible, just safety is still the need here. We have Matt Andrews, who looks very much like an elite safety. A-man coverage, combine's great. Number 3 in true value, getting him at 9. He honestly could be 80 plus. Yep, we just finished our final draft here, looking for a BPA. And you know what? Because the depth trade could, I'm going to probably make him a day 1 starter at free safety. So for our 5th and final year, here's how the squad is going to line up. We're going to go into battle with our 70 overall Aaron Rodgers. See if he can go for 40-plus touchdowns again as he tries to catch Tom Brady for the most touchdowns all time. Obviously, with Davante Adams retiring, major change-up at wide receiver. He brought in Jalen Polk, but the big change is, honestly, I just want to see the drop-off with Garrett Wilson now in the slot. Was it Davante Adams? Is the Jets cheesy? Is it a bit of both? We'll find out. O-line is outstanding, one of the best O-lines in the league, so we'll be able to protect Aaron Rodgers, keep him upright. Defense is pretty scary looking. D-line is elite. Linebacking core, we have two of the best young linebackers in the league. Andrews and Winston, two of the best young safeties in the league. And our secondary, especially bringing in Terry and Arnold in free agency, you gotta just think we have probably the best defense in the league. And offensively, we'll go as far as the glitched Aaron Rodgers will take us. No cheese, no nothing. We're gonna sim right to the playoffs. Hopefully we see another 50 bomb. And we go 10-7. Final year running it back offensively. Well, I don't know how well Aaron Rodgers played, but we clearly started to hand the football off, transition to a run team, which is, it's always weird to see that dynamic. Like, the playbook's the exact same, but the team kind of shifts, which, you know, goes against the argument that Madden is solely all playbooks because, you know, we found a way to win. Defensively, they definitely stepped up this year. Let's take a look at the stats. Aaron Rodgers, I mean, still, that's not bad. 34 interceptions are kind of go out the charts. So for a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, who all times probably like the best quarterback at not turning the ball over, kind of hurting him a little bit here in the sim, but 34 touchdowns is respectful. Braylon Allen, 12-9, not bad. 11-12. So, I mean, it's Davante Adams is achieving. I mean, that's still a nice year, and Aaron Rodgers' production is definitely a significant part of why we're not seeing those ridiculous wide receiver numbers, but still makes you feel like there was just a little bit of magic with Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers. On the defensive side, sacks fell off an absolute cliff, but at least the interception number. Sauce Gardner, think I can say without a shadow of a doubt, the best sim corner we've had so far in a rebuild in Madden 25. Our only award winner for the second time is Sauce Gardner getting DB of the year. So what we've been able to accomplish within a 5-year period, Aaron Rodgers 3 yards shy of having 80,000 for his career. 681 touchdowns to 180 picks. Also had 4,500 yards on the ground and 44 touchdowns. Obviously already like a first ballot Hall of Famer, but now even more so. Braylon Allen obviously wasn't a long-term starter for us. 7,100 yards, 57 touchdowns for Wilson. Nothing else too crazy there. Defensively, DJ Reed. A lot of tackles. We got 115 TFLs, 82 sacks for Quinnen Williams, 45 for Jermaine Johnson, 29 picks for Sauce Gardner. That's pretty nuts, man. Big time numbers. And let's look all-time. Aaron Rodgers has passed Tom Brady for most passing touchdowns all-time. Not really. I mean, with the way he's just not retiring, he probably could maybe catch up all-time for pass yards. But there we go. That's pretty nice to hit that. The best news is we got a chance with a 60-some overall Aaron Rodgers go on a playoff run. Up first, we get the 12-5 Ravens, who are looking pretty good. Pretty scary, but you never know. It's when you never think you have a chance is when you have a chance, and unfortunately, we did not have much of a chance. Wow, 31-8. Very much taking Aaron Rodgers out behind the barn and putting him out of his misery. We end on a lot, but hey, 31 touchdowns, Davante Adams. For a spur of the moment, like this happened in the afternoon. And I was like, you know what? I think we can get a rebuild done. And Aaron Rodgers hooks us up, getting it done within the rules that we set for ourselves for our realistic rebuilds. Minimum 5, and we can get that Super Bowl before 5. So I appreciate you, Aaron Rodgers. I appreciate Davante Adams putting up the scariest sim stat line I've seen maybe ever in Madden, especially within the context of just two old guys. Even though Aaron Rodgers clearly at 43 years old is glitch. Why is he not retired? He's just not leaving. But ultimately, it goes down as a successful rebuild. Put the old check mark. And I mean, questions say, now what's Bills next? They just made a trade while recording this to get Amari Cooper from the Cleveland Browns, and that's an outstanding trade. I think Amari Cooper's going to absolutely eat. One of the most underrated wide receivers, still in the league, still playing at a high level. Maybe we run that one up next. Let me know what you guys want to see next for a Madden 25 realistic rebuild. As always, your first time stopping by, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Very close to 175,000 subscribers on the channel. It would be awesome to hit that milestone sooner rather than later. Leave a comment in the comment section below of what team you want to see next. If you enjoy the content, all I ask for in turn, hit the old like button on the video as it helps push the channel with the YouTube robots to other people that might not be watching my stuff. And until next time, it's your boy C4 saying peace out, love ya, have a good one. And please, Philly, trade for somebody. Come on.